Yeah, so there were quite a few difficult or challenging situations for me in my teenage years. My dad encouraged me.
What is it that Andrew Kirby does outside of Toyota, if anything?
No, thanks, George. Good to be here. No, I have quite a few hobbies. Most of them are in the area of sport. So as I've got older, I've actually become spending more and more time, with sport. I think once the kids grew up and had a little bit more time to be able to dedicate to that, it's become more and more important for me. So I do a lot of mountain biking.
Oh, wow.
I actually do mountain biking racing as well.
Have you ridden with Mark? Mark from Mercedes?
No, never ridden with Mark. No.
Okay, because Mark's an avid cyclist as well.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do a lot of riding, and that's been good for my health as well. Just to have an environment where you can de-stress and be out in the mountains. And then I kite surf. So that's been a big passion of mine for many years.
Oh, wow.
It's a rather unique, kind of extreme sport. But
up on the board, doing the whole thing.
Yeah, boosting, jumping, surfing, even foil.
That's difficult. I went to Mauritius just before COVID, actually, and I took kite surfing lessons because I've always wanted to try it. And I eventually, after about 3 days, I got up on the board. But it's difficult to do. I mean, you've got to have a lot of upper body strength.
No, it is tough to learn.
Yes.
But once you do it, it's just it's an incredible sense of freedom. I used to windsurf when I was young, and got into the sport of kite surfing when it was very new. There was no YouTube, there was no coaches, so I taught myself, and just eventually, I do it whenever I can. I would say this year, since the beginning of the year, I haven't been out once. I haven't been able to, but whenever I'm on holiday, I'll kite surf, and when the wind picks up again in Durban, I'll kite surf over weekends.
Tell us a little bit about Andrew as a teenager. What did you get up to? What did you do? Who were you as a teenager?
I think I was an all-rounder. Played a bit of sport. I did fairly well at academics. I didn't excel. I had a couple of big milestones in my teenage years. I moved from the Eastern Cape in high school, halfway through my high school, almost halfway, to Pretoria. And so that was a big change for me, and then broke my neck when I was 15 years old riding a bicycle.
Wow.
So there were quite a few difficult or challenging situations for me in my teenage years. My dad encouraged me to do, I played almost every sport.
Yeah.
Literally played every sport there was.
Wow.
Played rugby, I also played soccer, played hockey. I played tennis, I played squash. And you can go through everything. So I did all the sports, and I enjoyed that. And I think maybe I didn't get into the first team or tour when I was a teenager, but later in life it's been really useful to be able to have all of those skills, and I've tried to pass them on to my kids as well.
That's incredible. So in kind of going through those teenage years, what did you dream about? What were your aspirations? What did you want to become? Because that's most of the kids get asked, what do you want to become?
I didn't really have such a clear idea of what I wanted to become. I think I admired my father. He was in the automotive industry.
Oh.
He was in a senior position in the corporate world, and I thought that was cool. I thought I could see myself being in corporate. I could see myself hopefully rising to be an executive, not necessarily the motor industry.
Yeah.
In fact, my father tried to dissuade me from joining the motor industry. Later on in my teenage years, I felt I wanted to be an engineer, and that is what I did pursue, but I didn't really have a clear image of I want to be X, Y, and Z. At all.
Like I want to be a doctor,
I was fairly open. No, I want to be a family man. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a man of faith. That's important to me. But I didn't have a very clear career goal at all.
It sounds to me like you had a good base of principles that you wanted to kind of pursue, but not really saying, I want to be X.